today on the show, I wanted to have Rabbi Jonathan Cahn, who's a personal friend who I think is defining some things with a spiritual lens that are happening in culture right now. I mean, the war in Israel, check. He has some perspective that you won't believe. Things that are happening in popular culture, check. Things that are about to happen in revival. And he's written this book. And this is what's interesting about his book, because you could write a book right now. It's not a book publishing season. Books aren't doing that great, but all of his books have done well, except for this one. The Dragon's Prophecy has hit #1 on all book charts all around the world for days. I mean, this has been an important book. And I think the reason why is because you and I are looking for spiritual perspective on world events. Are we living in the end times? Is this the time that has been prophesied about in the Bible? And also, who's leading the charge of explaining what's going on spiritually with Israel? What's going on with Palestine? Well, this book is going to help you so much, but this interview is going to help you even more because you're here with me right now. So I'm going to encourage you. This interview is going to take you into a place that maybe your perspective might just get the most hope you've had in months because of Rabbi Cahn and what he's sharing right now. Up next is Rabbi Jonathan Cahn. Okay, Rabbi Jonathan Cahn, one of my favorite people in the world, and you are giving so much discernment and insight right now where the world's hungry. I just said it to you before we even started talking, like mainstream media is giving us nothing. They're just parroting each other's news, and we don't really get perspective. And then even a lot of church leaders, when they talk about what's happening in Israel and the mysteries right now that you're unveiling through even your new book, this Dragon Prophecy book is just, I mean, taken off, and it needs to. You're saying some things that no one's either brave enough to say or they don't have the discernment to say. And we need to hear them right here on the show, because when I saw the Game of Thrones advertisements all over with the dragon around, in Times Square and all over the Empire State's Building and all over England and the whole, and I was like, this has to be spiritual. And I actually like fantasy, like stories, but there was something beyond fantasy stories where there was a mark in time. And you wrote this book in response to what's going on right now in Israel and what's going on in culture. Let's talk about it. But welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you, Shawn. It's always great to be with you. And the thing is, I didn't plan on writing this book. I was actually planning on writing the sequel to The Return of the Gods, which is, and I will write that. But the Lord interrupted me by everything that was happening, and I'm praying out, Lord, do you want me to write a different book and about this? And then I'm praying, I see a dragon, like a red dragon. And I knew that it was from Revelation. And what you just said, when I started writing it, I had no idea. It was the beginning of 2024. It turns out that this year is the year of the dragon. There's a comet or a meteorite that comes by the it comes by the world once every 70 years. This is the year. It's called the Mother of Dragons comet. Then in New York, all the dragon. I mean, and again and again. So this I didn't plan on it, but I knew this was what God wanted me to do. And this is the only book I've written where it literally, as I'm writing it, things are happening in the world that I'm writing, and I had to keep on updating it because it kept happening. Even after I finished writing it, it kept happening. And I've never shown with all the books. I mean, they're opening up mysteries that are now, that are unfolding now. But this is the Dragon's Prophecy, the only book where it opens up the realm also of end time prophecy, because things are happening so quick and so fast, accelerating, especially in this last period. Even while we talk right now about what's happening in Israel right now, it's happening. So this is not the book that I planned to write. This is the book that God planned for me to write, and he made sure I did.
Well, and take us out of kind of the natural realm, because some people who might be listening might be like, I'm sad for all the Palestinians who are dying, but I'm pro-Israel, but I don't know what to do about that in my heart. Or they might have more of like even a Christian secular perspective where they're not tuned into, but what is God doing right now over Israel? And why is Hezbollah attacking? And Bethlehem just got attacked. And just these crazy things are happening in our times. Like, I never thought I would be here. I thought coronavirus was the hardest thing we'd go through for a long time. And then we're going to swing back into normal. And it's like the most, talk about war, talk about cultural wars, talk about actual wars that could lead to World War III. And you talk about your book to kind of paint a picture for us right now of the season we're in.
Yeah, this exactly right. This is not natural. This is beyond natural. And the Bible gives us, the book is really kind of taking away the veil that behind the natural, behind the news is a whole nother realm. And that's really the realm that's determining things. And when you see that, everything makes sense. I'll give you an idea of the supernatural part of it. It was a Friday night, and I'm here in New Jersey, and I have a congregation. The congregation's Beth Israel, and I'm sharing on Friday night. I'm led to share about a mystery that's from Leviticus, and I share about this mystery ordains, and I'm not saying I know all these things, but ordained that there would be an attack on Israel. It would take Israel by surprise. It would happen in the year 2023, would happen in October of that year, would happen on a Saturday, a Sabbath day, would happen on a Hebrew holy day that went back to Leviticus, would happen on the first Saturday of October of 2023. The first Saturday of October 2023 turns out to be October 7th, which is exactly when it happened. I shared this mystery at Beth Israel, and the next morning it happened in Israel. And this mystery, this is what really began it, and this is one of the mysteries in the book, which may even enable us to know future events and when they're going to happen, because you're right, this is not natural. The whole situation is not natural. God is in control. And since I finished the manuscript, 3 other events happen according to this mystery. We're watching an ancient war. This is something that in Revelation, you have the dragon and the woman. You have and that's what I saw, the red dragon, and the woman is Israel. And so you have this war, and this war has been going on for 4,000 years. What happened on October 7th and what's happening now is just the latest part of it. We are watching the latest part of an ancient war that God speaks about and the Bible speaks about, and we are really living not only in end times but prophetic times.
I mean, that's hard for people to embrace in some ways, because I think we're so desensitized because it's all happening at once, but we're not looking with our spiritual lenses. So when you're looking at it and you see, again, Hezbollah's got activated, Israel's at a place where they're either